Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel again, and today we are going to review the Dehancer Pro, which is a film emulation plugin for DaVinci Resolve, Final Cut Pro, and also Premiere Pro. So what is Dehancer Pro? This is basically a film emulation software that works with your post-processing software, and this video is sponsored by Dehancer Pro, but it doesn't mean it is only positive thoughts. So I've been using it for the last 1 month, and I'll share my honest opinion about how it is and how it fits in my workflow and why you need this. So let's begin. So the first thing first, how to install it. To install it, we need to go to dehancer.com, which is the official website for this. And after going there, we will click product, then download, and here you will get all the information you need for like purchase and installation. And they also have a free trial version for 7 days, but here I already got the license, so I'll just hit download. And this is actually a very easy software. It's like installing any other Windows or Mac software that you use every day, so it's not complicated. All you need to do is just next, and at the end you need to put your license information, and after that you need to open your DaVinci Resolve, and it will not appear here, so you need to figure it out where it is. For that, you need to click on this button and then effect and write Dehancer, and here it is, Dehancer Pro 7.3.0, which is the newest one, and it's actually very easy to install, and I'm not even going to show that because I'm going to cover a lot of stuff. So let's begin. This is my first clip that I want to show, and this is what I shot for a music video, and this is a sad scene, so my goal is to make it sad and a little bit of horrible atmospheric and this kind of stuff. So let's begin. Before beginning, you need to create some nodes, and the settings that I'm working right now is DaVinci YRGB and Rec 709, and output color space is same as timeline. So I'll save it, it's already saved, and then I'll click like this, add a new serial, and I'll call it exposure. So this is my first node, and I'll open another node for Dehancer Pro. I'll just drag and drop over it, and if you want you can name it Dehancer. Okay, as you can see there's already some effect going on, but before that I need to fix this image a little bit, especially the shadow and highlight. As you can see, it's too bright, so I'll play here with the curve. It's always suggested to go for an S curve, but let's see what happens in here. I'll also decrease the highlight in here. I think this looks good. So now I have a good exposed image, which is the basic correction. In my eyes it looks okay, and the next thing I do is to go to the Dehancer tab, which I already opened, and select Rec 709, and You can also choose Rec 2020 because this is a Sony ZV-E10 HLG footage, but it will not make so much difference, so I'll go with Rec 709. Then the first thing is there's also exposure compensation option, but I already did this thing, so I'm not gonna touch much here. Then just a little bit of tint boost. I'll go with 7. I usually don't work with defringe and this one, so I'll not make it turned on. And then here is the thing that you really need to know. There are a lot of loot or preset or whatever you can say. There's a lot, and we have been watching this from our childhood, so most of them are very familiar and common to us, to our eyes. And in this I can check some of them. As you can see, there's already so many looks and feel. But I think I'll go with Kodak Vision 50D. Okay, and make sure it's enabled, otherwise you'll not get the effect. Also, I'll touch the push pull EV, which is exposure, then film developer. I'll go just a little bit of contrast boost, and then color boost, let's say 10, and enable it and check it. Wow, I already got a scary look. The next option is film compression. I'll not touch it so much, just the color density, just a little bit more. Enabled, and then expand, enabled. Here you will have two good features. So number one is black point. Look, you can play with the blacks in the darker area. And then also there is white point. It's affecting the skin tone, also the bright area. I think it's good. And then in print option you'll have 4 more look. There's Fujifilm, Kodak Endura, and so on, but I'll go with Kodak 2383 print film. And here you can also adjust the target white just a little bit, exposure just a little bit, and then contrast, color density, not too much, but just a little bit, just like a gentle touch, not too much. We're not gonna make something to something. Color head, this tool is very useful. You'll see soon why. This yellow, blue, if you play with this, look at the changes. Not okay, I forgot to enabled. Now look, OMG, I'm not sure which look do I want, but as I said, I want a sad, scary look, so I will probably go with this yellowish tint. What about the magenta and green? No, too much. Okay, cyan and red. Her hair, this area is affecting. So if you want only to play with the orange in the hair, then you can click, and it's already telling the value here. It can increase and decrease. Very useful feature. And then there's also shadow. I think I will not use this. Mid-tone, you can play with mid-tone, highlight, and then I'll go to film grain. This is This is where the most of the magic will happen. Let me show you. There's custom film grain, and you can increase and decrease the size. Look at here, increase and decrease the size of the grain. I think that's too much. I can show you what is happening here in a large screen. Look, there's a lot of grain, but it's too much, so I'm gonna make it down to 12. I will increase the amount. What about this right now? Oh my god, look at this. I think many of you have watched Walking Dead, and if you watch Walking Dead, you will notice how much grain, film grain they use, and this is gonna be something like this. Let's make it Walking Dead. Okay, I think it's kinda too much. I will go for a chroma. Nope, I'll not touch the chroma. Maybe it's too much, so I'll get back around 40-ish. Now look at this. Yeah, I think now it's a good look. It's a good scary look now. So I can show you what. Okay, I think I'm not done. There's halation. Okay, the next option is halation. Of course, I'm gonna use it. Halation is something that affects the brighter area, and also look at the edges. There is some light leaking. This is halation, and it gives a super good look. I love it. If you watch The Lord of the Rings, you'll see they used a lot of this halation effect. But let me play with this a little bit. I can also play with the custom mode. I think I need smoothness, also local diffusion just a little bit more, and impact. This is where the strength of the halation will affect. Let's go, I'll go with maybe 60. Full screen and check. I think it's good enough. Next is bloom. I'll enable it, and of course I'm gonna use it. Look what happens if I increase the bloom. It's affecting the brighter area. It's blooming. I always use this effect, but the default settings is 50. I will probably, how about 58? A little more. Yeah, I think it's good. Next, you can also add film damage. I think the amount is 10. Do you see this damage effect? You can increase even more. Now there's a lot. Film damage. I think it's enough. I usually don't use film breathe and get weave. I can try overscan feature here. Let's enable, and look. You can also change to widescreen 35mm, but I think I'll not use it with this clip, so let's disable it. But I will use vignetting. Look at the magic here. Enable it, choose size, aspect, then exposure. Oh my god, it's looking so good. Now look at this. Oh my god, I absolutely love the scene right here. Yeah, I think I'll keep it like this, and it will completely go with the music video project that I have. This is actually what I wanted. Okay, let's proceed to the next footage. To proceed to the next footage, I will copy the same settings, the same grading to the next one, so that I don't need to create these nodes again. For that, you need to go to color, memories, save memory, and then the settings has been saved. So now I'll put it to my next clip. For doing that, just go to color, memories, here, load memory. Here I have the same grade that I did in my previous clip. I can easily copy and paste here, but I think, oh my god, the scary scene is now perfectly combined in here, but I don't want this scene to be a scary something, so let's play with the preset again. But I think the footage is already good exposed. Let's go, and I will still use Kodak Vision. What about the exposure? Just a little bit. I will not change these values again. Also, final compression is gonna be the same what I did. Also, expanding is the same. Maybe I'll touch the black just a little bit, and white point. Yes, now it's like blooming already. Look at the background. Oh my god, I love it so much. And also in the print option, I will probably go to the same that I chose before. Yeah, I'll go with Kodak 2383, which is like everybody loves it. And then no too much. It's actually looking good, and I think there's too much grain. I'll fix it soon. There's too much because I already took this from the previous clip, but I will play with the color head a little bit. Look at this. I'm going to create a new color head here. Let's go a bluish tint. Let's make it just a little bit. Then I also need a yellow because of the background. I think I already like this, so I'm not gonna touch the others. And as I said before, I use too much grain, so I will decrease it to the default number. Is still a lot of grain. What about 35mm ISO 50? Wow, yeah, it perfectly goes. Yeah. And then halation, I'll play with halation. Then bloom. I want the background to be blooming more, so let's make it 80 or something. Look at the white parts, they're too white right now, meaning the bloom effect is working. Then film damage, what does it look like without the film damage? Yep, I think it looks better without the film damage, so I'm not going to use it. I'm not going to use film breathe, get weave. Also I can try this or scan. Maybe no. Yes, I will implement exposure in here. Now look at this. So if you go back to the original clip, it was something like this, and now this is like a Hollywood movie right now. OMG, I love the look. Yeah, I'm happy with this. So I will go to the next footage and apply the same grade. So color, memories, load memory. Look at this. OMG, it looks so good, even with the previous grade. But I think I'll play with this a little bit. Let's go with Kodak 300, Kodak Vision 3 500D, then 250D, then 200D. The red is affected so much whatever I use. I think I'll go with Kodak Ultra Max 400 with this, and there's a lot of shadow, and I'll fix it going back and highlight to minus 100. Maybe I also need to decrease the shadow a little bit, and also I need to adjust the curve a little. Now look at this, it has started to bloom already. But I feel like this clip is too sharp, so I'll try to make it unsharp. Just adding a new node, going to soften and sharpen. Just drag and drop, and then bend it to around 233. And now look, this is even softened and sharpened. If you feel like it's too sharp, then you can again make another node and go for radius, which is here, and I'll go with 0.52 radius. And now look, it's not over sharpened anymore, and this is so creamy look right now. Yes, maybe a little bit of more saturation, but I think it's okay. Let's go to the next footage. I'll apply the same grade, color, memory, load memory, and look at this. It already looks so good, but there's too much grain. So where is the grain? Here's film grain again. I'll decrease it to, how about without film grain in this footage? Yeah, looks good. I will use very little but much halation. You can see the affected area if you use mask mode. I think I need some highlight in here. Yeah, my highlight is now set back to default, which is 0. And then I go back to Dehancer again, play with the halation. Also bloom a lot. I'll not use or scan. Of course, vignetting. Now look at this. Wow. Amazing. I think it's good. Let's go back to another footage. So I'll apply the same gradient here. Color, memories, load memory, and look at this. It looks absolute butter. Oh my god, I think it's slightly oversaturated, so I will decrease the saturation. I go to exposure. You see, if you touch this button, you can play with the saturation in the curve. Look, now it looks even more natural. Yes. I can check the highlight. Now I set it to -100 as the highlight. And there's too much grain, so let's get back to the answer and try to regrade it. I'll go with color vision 50D. Black point and white point. I'll touch the black point and white point. Then color head, I will redo it. Film grain too much, so I decreased the amount of film grain. And then halation. Look, these areas are getting affected. And then bloom. I will not use film damage in here. It doesn't go with the clip. And then vignetting again. Oh, look at this now. Stunning. And of course, vigneting. Look at this, what a dreamy and creamy look. I love it. I think I'm not gonna touch this scene anymore. I think film damage doesn't go with this clip, so I will remove it. Yes, now there's no film damage, only halation, bloom and glowing effect. So next clip, this is a time-lapse that I took in Helsinki International Airport, and this is the best airport in Europe right now, so I want this look to be looking like the best. Let's begin. I'll apply the same grade. So I'll make a time lapse from this footage because it's a long clip. So for making time lapse, I create another node and I'll go look for motion blur or only motion, then go for motion trail. Here you see all the motions look so buttery smooth, but I need to fast forward it. I'll go to retime and scaling, then choose AI speed warp as motion estimation and resize filter to smoother, and also changing the speed. I'll make 5 seconds time lapse from this 4 minutes clip. Let's see how it goes. Now look. It looks so buttery smooth. Remember, I use motion trail length as 5. You can also use 10, but in that case it will take a lot of power, so you need a very capable graphics card to do that. Sometimes I even use motion trail level 10, which is the highest, and then there will be even better time lapse. Right now I'm using just 5. Let's go with 3 2 because my PC is kind of struggling with all these things on. But look at this. Even 2 looks so good, but I usually go in between 5 to 10. Okay, next clip. This is an Insta360 X4 clip, and it was shot in 360 and then reframed to ProRes. Nope. I will maybe go back, take this color grade, yeah, now it looks good. Look at this. What can I play with? I think I'll go with Kodak Vision 50D, and then everything as it is, maybe changing the black point, yes, also the white point. Yeah, look at this. Oh my god, it looks like a film even though it's not. And then I will play with the film grain. And then halation, this, what about 30mm super 35 halation. Yeah, look at this area. Halation is working so good. Also in the corners, look at the corners. Yeah, I think it's good. Yeah, it looks good. Let's go back to another footage. It looks good. I'll not do much here. And then we have a drone footage, and this is 10-bit, maybe 3 footage. I'll apply the previous grade. Let's see what happens. Oh my god, I love it, but there's too much halation, so I'll just decrease the bloom. Look, if I touch the bloom, her skin tone changes. I don't want that much, maybe this is subtle. And then I'll also touch the halation here. '73 looks kinda good. Okay, let's go to another drone footage. So this is a shot that I got in Kebnekaise when I was hiking in Sweden's tallest peak. And look at this. This is very nostalgic feeling, this bluish tint. But I think I will not go with bluish tint with this footage. Let's go to color head, go back to default settings, and then I think now it looks good. The water flowing is popping, and also the bright areas are popping. Look at here. The halation and every other effect is working well. What about the next footage? Also a drone footage. Yeah, I like it. Another drone footage. Applying the same grade. I think there's too much grain, so I need to decrease grain. And also I will change the color head again here. Look at this. Oh my god. This is stunning. I'll put some vignetting here. How about now? Absolutely stunning. Yeah, let's go to another footage. This is before, this is after. I think there's too much saturation. I'll take a look. This is after. This is before the original raw footage. I like this look, it's good. And then there's another one. I'll apply the same grade. Look at this. Stunning. Then I'll apply the same grade here. I think the brightness is too much. Let's go back to the exposure. I also like this pinkish tint around. I can fix. If I go back to the answer again, I can change the color head, everything back to normal again. I'll redo it. Look. Oh my god, what a creamy look. Absolutely stunning. And of course I need vignetting here. Now look at this. I love it. The next footage, this is a happy footage, so I'll try to make it happy. Look at this. Yeah, the previous grade goes with this clip so good, I have to say. But let's make a little trick. Let's make the vignetting first. I think now it already looks good. And look at the halation effect in the white areas. And it's also glowing. This is absolutely crazy. And then we have another clip applying the same grade. Let's make it vintage. For vintage look, we need a lot of film grain. And also blooming effect, halation, film damage. And I feel like it's kind of overexposed, so I fix the exposure. Now it looks good. What a vintage look. I like it. Here's the dark footage. I think this is a Osmo Pocket 3 10-bit D-Log footage. Applying the previous grade. Sorry. Well, look. What a nostalgic scene. But I'll touch the color head again here. Now look at this. The blooming effect, the halation effect, everything is popping in this footage. Look at these light sources. They're popping because of the blooming and halation effect. I love it. What about this footage? I'll apply the same grade. Look at this. I'll decrease the halation. Look what happens if I change the halation wheel. Let's go with 35mm. Film grain little. Bloom. Yes, I want a lot of bloom. I don't want film damage here. And then vignetting. Yes, there is a clip where you should definitely put vignetting. Now look at this. Stunning look already. This is before, this is after. Before, after. What about this footage? Applying the same grade. Too much exposure. I'll touch the color head. Now look at this. Yeah, halation and blooming and glowing effect, everything working. And then here's the footage that I got in Turkey. This is a time lapse, so I'll apply the same grade. Yeah, it's already good. I don't want vignetting here. And I think it looks good. Now I will fast forward. This is a 4-minute clip, and I'll make it maybe 6 seconds. And then motion estimation, AI speed warp faster, resize filter as a smoother. And look at this. But I want to make it even buttery smooth time lapse, so I'll go another node and drag and drop motion trails, and trail length is 5. Now look at this. Now there's a trail of every movement. Look. You can increase the number of trail length, but you need a very powerful computer to do that. It takes so much power that it's lagging right now, so I'll go back to maybe 3. Yeah, it looks good. Then here's another time lapse. I'll apply the same grade. Wow, it looks amazing. But I will again go to the color head and redo it from the beginning. This is blue mosque, so I want it blue. I don't want vignetting here. It looks amazing already. What about yeah, now look at the halation effect. I think the value is 85 right now. I will open another node. This area is dark, so I will fix only this area. For that, I'll go for a gradient tool, just like this, and make sure this is affecting this area. Give some shadow and some lift and also some gain, so that the movement is gonna be even better. Now look, this is well exposed, especially this area, because I touched in here. Now I'll make a time lapse. For that, I'll make another node and go to motion estimation, AI speed warp faster, resize filter as smoother, and then 5 seconds maybe. Now the motion is kinda jittery. I'll make it smooth. For that, I'll go to another node and put motion trails on top of it. And now look, there's trails of every motion. Absolutely stunning. And then I have another clip here in Dubai. Looks like too white. Bloom, no damage. Grain just a little bit more. Halation more. Now look at the light source after the bloom and halation effect. These areas are affected. But now let's make a time lapse. Five-second. Now this is without motion. What is this called? Is without motion trails. Now I'll put motion trails, and the value is 5. Now let's look. Yeah, it's enough. So, to conclude this video, I have to say this is a very powerful software. There's also a little bit of lag when you use it, and I noticed if you use many of those features, the lag is even more. So I will address this problem to the company who produced this, and to be honest, this is a very powerful software and you will surely need for your cinematic journey, no matter what you are doing. If it's wedding cinematography or movie, or even for YouTube, this is like a must that you need to have. I think it added a huge value in my arsenal, and it'll take my cinematic journey to another level. If you are a beginner, maybe this is kind of too much for you because the price is much. But if you are a professional and your client wants the best out of your best, then probably you need it in your arsenal for real. So use my coupon code. You will get 10% discount. The coupon code is down below somewhere in the screen and also in the description box. So if you use my coupon code to buy this, I'll get some benefit, and that will encourage me to make more videos like this. So until next video, see you.